Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Saturday, the 26th of July 2025. In today's Mill news, it was match day away at Bromley. And Mill won. I thought it was going to be predicted before the game it would be 2-0 to Mill. It ended up being 2-1. This is the match report from southernnews.co.uk. Bromley 1, Mill 2, Bangor, Williams and Ivanovic on mark, but concerned for veteran Ravens defender. Yes, so let's jump right into it. Mill continued their pre-season preparations with a narrow 2-1 win over Bromley at the Copper Jacks Community Stadium on Saturday. Goals from Rahis, Bangor, Williams and Mihailo Ivanovic were enough to see off the League 2 side, who grabbed a consolation through Idris Oduteo in added time following a scrappy corner. Alex Neil's side set the tempo from the start, determined to carve open the Bromley defence with the slick one-touch passing that has been a feature of the Lions' pre-season fixtures. Inside the first minute, Luke Cundall intercepted a loose pass and fed the ball to Femi Aziz, whose cross was deflected out for a corner. The main front from the visitors came down the left flank, with left-back Ryan Leonard frequently looking to release Aziz and exploit the winger's ability to take on defenders in one-on-one situations. Yet Mill's variety in attack was also evident, as they weren't afraid to play long when needed, with Josh Coburn holding the ball up well. Despite dominating possession, the Lions have found clear chances hard to come by in the first half. Their best opportunity to break the deadlock arrived on 25 minutes when Camille Negley's cross from the right was headed across goal by Cundall, only for Tristan Cramer's point-blank header to be brilliantly saved by Bromley keeper Sam Long. While Cramer couldn't convert, the fact that the right back was in such an advanced position highlighted the front foot approach Neil is instilling in his team. Bromley offered little threat early on, relying on the fittingly named Long to pump the ball forwards in an attempt to cause problems for the Millwall defence, but it was to no avail. However, as the half wore on, the home side grew into the game, becoming more effective in their pressing as Millwall looked to play through them. Their efforts bore fruit when they won their first corner with 10 minutes left of the half, a sign of the scrappier contest as Millwall could struggle to maintain their early intensity, which is not unusual in pre-season fixtures. Bromley fashioned a few chances before the interval, with one falling to former Lion Ben Thompson, though he scuffed his effort from close range and was easily gathered by Millwall goalkeeper Max Crockham. Neil made two changes at the break, Wes Harding and Bangor Williams coming on for the captain Jay Cooper and Negley. Cramer moved into the centre of defence to partner Jeffet Tanganga. The Lions restarted with renewed energy. Within minutes, Aziz forced Long into a sharp save after cutting in from the left and aiming for the top right corner. Although Aziz didn't get the opener himself, it was his clever cutback that set up Bangor Williams, who whipped a precise finish into the bottom right corner from the edge of the area on 49 minutes. Mill doubled their lead on the hour mark. Harding drove down the right and delivered a low cross that Ivanovic guided home with a calm first-time finish. However, celebrations were dampened by concern for veterans Ravens defender Carl Jenkinson, who had to be stretchered off following a coming together with Harding in the build-up to the Lions' second goal. Both managers took the lengthy stoppage that ensued as an opportunity to make substitutions. Bromley effectively brought on a fresh 11, while the Lions made 4 changes, including new signings Massimo Luongo and goalkeeper Stephen Bender, alongside Macaulay Langstaff and Nedomu Umaku for the final half hour. After the interruption, the match never quite regained its earlier tempo. Mill still carved out chances to add a third, with Umaku's one-on-one effort well saved by Bromley substitute keeper Grant Smith. However, the 21-year-old winger wasn't deterred as he tried to torment the Bromley defence with glimpses of brilliant skill. As the clock wound down, fatigue set in across both teams. Another pause was required when Umaku went down needing treatment after being turned inside out by Brooklyn Ilungu while tracking back defensively. Umaku was replaced by youngster Jack Howland, while Ivanovic made way for AJ Matthews. Due to Jenkinson's unfortunate injury, 10 minutes of added time was signalled. In the 92nd minute, Oduteu scrambled the ball home from a chaotic, slow-motion pinball sequence inside the Mill's 6-yard box. Although the match lacked the convincing edge of the midweek win over Wimbledon, there were promising signs of Neil's more proactive style heading into the 25-26 season, even as the second half descended into a scrappy affair. And the team was as follows: Crockham, Cramer, Tanganga, Cooper, Leonard, Cundall, Negley, Dinor, Aziz, Ivanovic and Coburn. Leonard was playing left back again, which, 2 weeks until the season starts, we're actually going to get an actual left back to play. Like, Ben Drake was on the bench. It's good to see. The subs that came on: Bender for Crocombe on the 62nd minute, Harding on for Cooper at half time, Luongo on for Kundal in the 62nd minute, Bangor Williams, the goal scorer, on for Negley at half time, Imaku on for Aziz on the 62nd minute, and Matthews himself on for Imaku in the 81st minute, Howland on for Ivanovic in the 81st minute, and Langstaff on for Coburn in the 62nd minute. And the subs that weren't used was Evans, Mayer, Baker, Lamptey, Drake, and Massey. So again, this is a pretty full squad, quite a strong team to start with, and I think you saw that in the way that we were playing. We kept the ball quite easily. We were passing it around, trying to probe Bromley and getting behind them, mostly relying on Aziz, not really much in the middle. Kundal was kind of dropping off to the left, and Leonard, even though he was playing left back, when we were in an advanced position, he was moving into the middle of the field. And I assumed that the plan was that if they broke down our left, that the centre back, which would have been Cooper, would have went off to that side, and then Leonard would have just dropped back in, because he can play. He has played centre back, so I imagine that was the plan behind that. But good display. Weird game. Obviously, the crowd was not segregated, so when you imagine, well, it's Bromley and Millwall, kind of, pretty similar to some extent. The fans kind of overlap in some way. But it was kind of weird, sitting there and there's a Bromley fan next to you. So there you go. But a decent win, and I was thinking after the game, Crocombe, has he conceded a goal yet? Has he actually conceded a goal? I think he kept a clean sheet against Northampton. Well, the whole team did. He played against Elche, but the goals were conceded once he had gone off. The Wimbledon was a clean sheet as well. Obviously, did he play against Palace and concede against Palace? That was one goal, was it? And obviously today he went off, and we conceded after he went off. So, and he did make a couple of decent saves in that first half. Like getting down to the corners and stuff. Very impressed by Crocombe, because he's actually had some stuff to do, and to some extent, Bromley were actually better than Wimbledon, which is probably alarming if you're a Wimbledon fan. But I thought Bromley played a lot better than Wimbledon did, and Wimbledon are in League One and Bromley are midway in League Two. What can you say? And again, but here's the thing again. When the strongest team was on the pitch, we looked utterly amazing. As soon as the changes get made, apart from Bangor, the two changes at half time, okay, Bangor Williams looked fantastic. But once you bring on Amaku and once you bring on Langstaff, it's like, ooh, okay. Like, you're huffing and you're puffing, but things aren't working out. You're not getting the ball in. You're not going past the man. You're not passing the ball smoothly. And it was just, you could clearly see there was a golfing class and a kind of drop down in the levels on the pitch that we had. So, but interested, Drake made the bench. Kamal Grant didn't make the bench. Now, why is that? Is he going out on loan? Don't know. Nisbet apparently back in training. Still nothing. Alex Neil said he wanted to give him a chance in pre-season. We haven't seen him. Like, he hasn't been seen. So, all are very interesting. Now, we do have a game on Tuesday away at Sutton. And I believe, apparently, on the broadcast today on Mill TV, the guy was saying that the Sutton game is well, it is and it isn't. It's not going to be on Mill TV if you're in the UK. If you're abroad, it will be on Mill TV for you. And I believe that's due to ticket sales. Although I imagine obviously there is a way around that, and that's you can buy a match pass if your computer says you're not in the UK. And how do you do that? You use a VPN. You may have been exploring the possibilities of a VPN. I don't know if you know this. If any of you dirty old men that watch the channel, if you try to have a J. Arthur yesterday or today, this fantastic Labour government has restricted your access to certain websites online. You need to prove that you're over the age of 18. Whilst at the same time, they've passed a law meaning people can vote at the age of 16. So, kind of confused signals there from our failing Labour government. But, hey, just the 4 more years, huh? 4 more years. Strap in, everyone. It's going to be a hell of a ride. So, yeah, there you go. Now, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. Mill boss reacts to victory and main challenge at Bromley and gives an update on Idomi Maku. Yes, he went off injured. Mill boss Alex Neil was satisfied with his side's performance in Saturday's 2-1 win over Bromley. Goals from Maurice Bangor Williams and Mihailo Ivanovic secured victory for the Lions over the League 2 outfit as Mill stepped up their preparation for the 25-26 campaign. I thought we were the dominant side in the game, Neil told New Zealand. First half, we created probably 4 or 5 good opportunities, and right towards the end of the first half, they had a shot on the keeper to save for us, and they had a header from set play, and they had a corner which was deflected. So I thought the last 2 minutes of the first half, they got a little bit of momentum behind the ball. But all in all, we probably should have taken the lead in the first half, and we didn't, and it was just really a case of being patient and making sure we try and take the next opportunity which comes our way. We scored 2 very similar goals, and we got down the sides of them and cutting back and managed to finish, and that sort of settled the game for us, but we were a bit calmer at that point, aren't we? Neil, however, did admit that Bromley caused Mill problems late on following a lengthy stoppage for Ravens defender Carl Jenkinson's injury. Neil said, Bromley were a bit more physical in the last 30 minutes, and we didn't cope as well as we had done. They get a set play which is a bit scrappy from our perspective, and we didn't deal with it well enough, and it got a little bit messy towards the end. I thought the pitch started to dry up, and the pitch has been left a little bit longer, and I think that would it be normally be, but all in all, good exercise, a good test for us, and we came through it well. Idomi Maku was forced off late on after coming on as a substitute. Neil said, I think the length of the pitch, the grass, played a factor. Every time the ball went into wide players, it was difficult for them to move their feet. The amount of times the ball turned over, it was sticky, so yeah, it was difficult to get that injection of pace in the final third, and that's the case, we needed to turn them more than we did in the start of the second half, and that's where we got the goals from. On Imaku's knock, Neil added, I don't think it looks like a big injury at the moment, it's just happened, so we'll need to see how it feels tomorrow and the next day. So, yeah, there you go, hopefully he's not injured again, because that really would be such rotten luck for Imaku, especially at this time where there's people on his back, and not a good time at all. Now, moving on to this, as mentioned just earlier, Carl Jenkinson, his injury has actually made the news. The papers have picked it up. The Irish Mirror, which we've got here from the MSN.com, but the Sun and the Mail and others have picked it up. Ex-Arsenal star Carl Jenkinson in hospital with horror injury after needing oxygen. Well, we all need oxygen, don't we? So yeah, let's have a read of this then. Former Arsenal defender Carl Jenkinson needed oxygen and was rushed to hospital after sustaining a horrific injury during a pre-season friendly. The player was carried off on the stretcher whilst representing Bromley against Millwall following a hip dislocation. So that was the injury that the poor lad got. You may have seen him writhing around. Probably not best to do that if you dislocated a hip, lad. Probably stay as still as you can. But obviously, I imagine he's in a great deal of pain. A great deal of pain. I can only imagine how that would feel, dislocating your hip. Oh my goodness. Jenkinson, 33, was previously turned out for West Ham, Nottingham Forest and Charlton. Was left in excruciating pain after attempting to thwart a Millwall offensive move on Saturday. During the 68th minute, the one-cap England international extended his leg whilst trying to tackle an opposite player, but suffered the worst of the collision. It looked to me like he kind of kicked Wes Harding, and Wes Harding just kind of like barreled through it. I don't know if he kicked him. He didn't kick him where his foot hit Wes Harding, but his whole leg hit him. So that's probably where the dislocation comes, because Wes Harding just like carried on running through. So that's probably knocked his leg back, and that's dislocated his hip. The former Newcastle Jets defender stayed down on the turf, contorting in agony and gesturing towards the dugout for medical help. Jensen was administered gas and hair before being carried from the pitch as the match endured a significant delay. Referencing the pause in action, Bromley provided an update during the game. They said Carl Jenkinson is stretchered off following a lengthy spell receiving treatment on the pitch. We're all wishing you a speedy recovery, Jenko. The Ravens followed that out with another social media post following the game indicating the severity of the injury and said, "We're all behind you, Jenko," they posted. Bromley boss Andy Woodman, formerly a goalkeeper coach at Arsenal, offered more detail following the game. And he says, it looks like he's dislocated his hip. He said, it's a tragedy now. He's been a real bright player for us pre-season, and that's a real blow. He's gone to the hospital to try and get it back in. A dislocated hip's not a great thing to have. Knowing Jenko, he'll be back sooner rather than later, and we wish him all the best, and hopefully he gets himself right, and we'll see him back in a Bromley shirt soon. So, and then they go on to talk about his history, so... Silver linings. I believe he's a left back. I'm not sure. They don't mention here, do they? He's just but no, is he a left back? Yeah, because Wes Harding has come down the right wing. Ben Drake on loan, anyone? Ben Drake on loan? Just saying. Obviously, well, that depends on whether Zach Sturge gets fit and Joe Bryan gets fit. We need left backs of our own. We need one to start and one to be on the bench for the Norwich game. But, I imagine dislocated hip. I don't know, but off the top of my head, I'll say probably out for 2 months. Probably around about that time. Maybe. But, get well soon. Thoughts and prayers with Carl Jenkinson tonight. Now, hopefully they put his hip back in by now. We got some pictures. You remember them? Photographs from the game. This is from millfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Match snaps from Hayes Lane. Wes Harding with the assist and Ivanovic with the goal. Why not? Millwall were 2-1 winners against Bromley in their 5th pre-season friendly on Saturday afternoon. Check out the best of the match action in our gallery below. And there you go. Coburn. Femi Aziz. Bangor Williams coming off the bench to score. Looked a real bright spark of creativity when he did come on, carry on, where he left off, which is good to see. Good to see. Yeah. Casper Denor, again, brilliant performance from him. Tanganga up against Webster. And there's again, Harding with the assist, Ivanovic with the goal. All smiles, all happy. The numbers, are those official EFL numbers? Is that what the numbers are going to look like? Interesting. Cool. Was that Comic Sans? There's a Maku there. And I think we're back round to the start, are we not? Yeah, we are. So, there you go. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of things to end off the video. The first one is this. You may have seen the referee sticking his hand in the air. What's that about? What's that about? There are, of course, there have been some refereeing changes, some changes of the rules, because, we can't leave the rules alone. We have to keep changing them. And every year they have to change them. This is from a website called A&H International, which is at referee-equipment.com. It's the AH blog. So here we go. This is from June 22nd, 25-26. Law changes explained what every referee needs to know. They sell basically stuff for referees, I think. Whistles, I imagine. Flags. Other stuff. I don't know. Shirts. The new season is fast approaching, and with it comes a fresh set of law changes for 25-26 that every referee, player and coach needs to be aware of. At A&H International, we're committed to helping referees at all levels stay informed, confident and ready for kick-off. Law 3. So they're going to go through the changes that have come in. So the players. Only the captain, communication. Competitions can now choose to restrict communication with the referee to only the team captain, identified by a distinctive armband. This optional rule is designed to improve match management and promote respectful dialogue. Why is this changing? To improve on-field behaviour and to enhance cooperation and strengthen the rapport between the players and the referee. Again, I think the referee, if you talk to him and you aren't the captain, he can give you a yellow card. I believe, I'm not sure that this has been optioned for the Championship. Sounds like it probably won't. It might be for the FA Cup, because they love changing the rules and then, doing that kind of thing. So, yeah, this is an optional rule, so I'll find out if this is option for the EFL. The referee signals. This is the one you may have seen. Visible countdown for goalkeeper ball control. Referees will now display a 5-second countdown gesture when a goalkeeper holds the ball. The visual aid supports enforcement of the new 8-second rule, see Law 12, which we're going to see in a minute, and ensures players and fans know the clock is ticking. So basically, we used to have a 10-second rule that the player, the goalkeeper couldn't hold onto the ball for more than 10 seconds, and it wasn't being enforced. So then, previously, in a previous rule, they changed it to an 8-second rule. Okay, that's fantastic. But then, that wasn't being enforced either. So now it's 8 seconds, and now, so that, to keep the referee on their toes, to make sure that they actually stick by the rules of the game, after 3 seconds, the referee's supposed to stick his hand up in the air, and he's going to go 5. I don't know if he's going to do it with his fingers or what he's going to do, or just do it in his head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds, I'll go. And he's going to blow a whistle. Now we're going to find out what happens after he blows his whistle in a moment. Please stay tuned. Now, Law 8, the start and restart of play. So drop balls. If a play is stopped in the penalty area, it restarts with a drop ball to the defending goalkeeper. If the ball was outside the penalty area, the referee drops it for one player of the team that has or would have gained possession, if this can be determined by the referee. Otherwise, it is dropped for one player of the team that last touched it. All drop balls occur at the position when play was stopped. I remember when you used to compete for a drop ball. Can't have that now, Utter woke nonsense. Why is this changing? There are times when the ball would clearly have gone to an opponent of the team that last touched the ball. In such instances, it's fairer for the ball to be dropped for the team that would have gained possession. As long as this is clear to referee outside the penalty, the ball will now be dropped at its position when the play was stopped. Law 9. Ball and in, out and out of play. No sanction for accidental contact. If a team official or off-field player accidentally touches the ball without interfering with play, the game restarts with an indirect free kick, no cards or further punishment. Why is this changing? There are times when a coach, substitute or player who's temporarily off the field of play, among others, a ball boy perhaps, touches the ball as it is going out of play with the intention of helping the game restart quickly. In such cases, an indirect free kick will be awarded, but there will be no disciplinary sanction unless such a sanction is to be issued for persistently leaving the technical area. So yeah, the ball's going out of play, you know it's going out of play, but you go up to get it and you touch it a little bit too early, and they can't just let it go. You know, they can't just let it go because you've touched the ball on the pitch. So they have to do something, and now, you know, they're gonna just give an indirect free kick. And this is for people not involved in the game. So someone else, a match official, a coach, a player warming up, or like I said, even the ball boys. So there you go. The offside. Now this one is a bit confusing. I don't understand this. Maybe you can help me. Maybe I'm a bit stupid. I don't get it. So number law 11, offside. The goalkeeper throws clarified. The first point of contact of the play or touch of the play should be used for offside offences. However, when the ball is thrown by the goalkeeper, the last point of contact should be used. Why is this changing? The first point of contact when the ball is used when determining whether a player is in an offside position. However, when the ball is thrown by the goalkeeper, the last point of contact should be used, as this provides a clearer and more consistent reference point. So what you're offside, so you're offside if it's when the ball is played forward, you're in an offside position. So when the touch of the ball to send it forward, you're in an offside position, you're going to be offside. But it sounds like what they're saying here is that when the goalkeeper throws it, it's from the last point of contact, as in when the player gets on the ball. So it sounds to me, maybe I don't understand, but it sounds to me that if the goalkeeper, you know they do like these massive long throws. Who used to do them? Schumacher, David Seaman, these really long throws to send the players away. That if you are onside and the goalkeeper, like let's say the defenders are on the halfway line and you're in your own half just about, the goalkeeper gets on the ball quickly, throws it over the halfway line so you can run onto it, and the defenders are stumbled. They're stuck. They're having to chase back. When you run onto the ball, if you touch it first, you're going to be offside from the point that you touched it. And that just sounds insanely wrong. I don't understand that. Is that what it means? Because that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe they're trying to stop people from being goal hanging from throw-ins. Maybe that's a thing that's happening. Obviously, these rules are universal rules. They're rules for all around the world. Maybe there's a country around the world where this is happening and they're trying to stamp it out, where people are breaking the offside rule by just standing in an offside position. Or no, because then you would be offside, wouldn't you? Again, yeah, it doesn't make sense. If you're in an offside position from when the goalkeeper throws it forward, you would be offside. But they're not doing that. They're doing it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Like if you're in an onside position when the goalkeeper throws it forward, but you run past the defenders and then touch the ball and you're offside because you touched the ball, you're the last point of contact. I don't understand the way that that's written. Maybe it's just me, but now here's the thing. I told you, 8-second goalkeeper rule. They're giving corner kicks. So yeah, the 8-second countdown begins when the goalkeeper has full control of the ball and is not being challenged by an opposing player. The referee will visibly count down the final 5 seconds, ensuring the goalkeeper can see the countdown. If opponents begin to pressure or obstruct the goalkeeper during the countdown, the referee will stop the count and award an indirect free kick in front of the goalkeeper. So here's the thing. If you want to slow the game down, that's what you do. I guess, you will watch out because they might book you, but So the goal, when you see the referee, if you're trying to time waste at the end of the match, you see the referee stick his hand up, in the thing, and you can interrupt the goalkeeper. They'll give them a free kick, and this is especially useful if you've got a team that like to play it out from the back, because they're not going to lump it forward, are they? If the 8 seconds are exceeded, the opposing team is awarded a corner kick at the closest side to where the offence was committed. Persistent offenders may still receive a caution. Why is this changing? The 8-second rule for goalkeepers is being introduced to reduce time wasting. Goal kick. Cross law clarifications. Law 16 now includes clear references to related laws. A goal kick is awarded when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, on the ground or in the air, having last touched the player of the attacking team, and a goal is not scored. Law 17 corner kick. Corner kicks are now explicitly awarded from the nearest corner area, whether from a ball out of play or after an 8-second goalkeeper infringement. Relevant laws are now also cross-referenced for easier interpretation, VAR, etc., etc. And there's a little roundup of everything that's changing. So there you go. More rules that are coming in. And now, let's try this again. Tried to do this at the end of the last video. Absolutely ballsed it up. I framed it up nice and good today, so it should be fine. And so transfers today. The Geekerus transfer's gone through. Nothing to do with the championship, but whatever. In the championship, however, Thomas Wilson-Brown has left Leicester and gone to Swindon on loan. Preston have signed Andrija Vučković, a free agent. Portsmouth have signed Luke LaRue. Lloyd Harris has joined Oxford on loan from Fulham. We obviously got Stephen Bender on loan from Fulham. Dylan Adai has left Millwall and gone to Bromley. Told you about that yesterday. Ian Cashin has left Brighton and gone to Birmingham on loan. That's an Irish name, so that it probably doesn't sound anything like what I just pronounced it. It's probably something totally different. Ched Evans, remember him? He's left Preston and gone to Fleetwood on a free transfer. Alfie Jones has gone from Hull to Middlesbrough. Portsmouth has signed Mark Koznovsky from Budapest. And we signed Massimo Luongo from Ipswich. And Tyrese Dolan of Blackburn has gone to Espanyol on a free transfer. I think we were kind of linked with him. Not really kind of strongly, but we were. More transfers. Have I mentioned these? I don't think so. Miguel Freckleton, what a name, has gone from Sheffield United to St Mirren. So important that the BBC haven't done a story on that because there's no link. Or maybe they just forgot to link him. Sam Morsey has left Ipswich and gone to Kuwait. Any other transfers in the Championship? Yep. Robert Bozanic has gone from Boa Vista to Stoke, so Stoke have signed a player. Papa Amadou Diallo has signed for Norwich from Metz for 4.3 million. Norwich has splashed in the cash, but I think they played today and they drew 0-0 with yesterday they drew 0-0 with Den Haag. They haven't had the best of pre-seasons, but that doesn't really mean anything, does it? Because they'll get to Carrow Road, and we know what they do to us at Carrow Road. Who else have we got here in the Championship? Wrexham have signed Lewis O'Brien from Nottingham Forest. Carl Rushworth, our goalkeeper, I believe, has left Brighton and gone to Coventry on loan. Norwich have also signed Jeffrey Schlupp, a player that we were linked with from Crystal Palace after he was released. A left-sided player, I think, left back. Anthony Scully has left Portsmouth, gone to Shrewsbury. Emery Tesgal has left Stoke on loan and gone to Crewe. And there you go. That's us all caught up. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.